Born for the Bear Clan. I was born and raised here on the White Mountain Apache Reservation, and the topic is transition. So I'm going to share with you some transitions that I went through in my life growing up until now. And I always think of myself as a kid from the res who decided to go for it. And I've seen this quote among other Native students who are really successful, who graduate from college. They'll put the quote in captions with their graduation outfit, or when they travel somewhere far, they'll put the quote in on their caption on their pictures. And so that always stuck with me as being a kid from the res who decided to go for it, and you will find out why. So like Kathleen said, I am a full-time worker with Johns Hopkins. I'm a research assistant with the infectious disease team. So I've been there for about 2 years now, and I really love what I do. And I'm also a full-time graduate student, and my capstone is due on Wednesday. And I also have 2 boys, 4 and 2, and then I also have all other responsibilities. So I'm still learning. My husband is currently in the police academy, and I'm so happy he made it here tonight. He just got OC sprayed today, so he's in some pain. And so I've been through so many transitions in my life, and some are really personal and difficult to share. They may be hard to hear, but I love to share them all with you. I was born into a toxic environment. So my parents had me at 14 and 15, and neither of them finished high school. So my grandma took on the role of mother, and she raised me and she took care of me. And some of you may know her. She worked in housekeeping for over 20 years. Her name's Karina. She just retired last year. So she raised me, she molded me into the person that I am today. And I owe so much to her for all that she's done to me. She always gives selflessly when I needed groceries in college or I needed a bill to be paid. Even with what little she had, she sent it to me so I could have, and maybe she went without, and I didn't know. And so I owe a lot to her, and she's very precious to me. And I call her mom, and I call my mom by her name. I'm the oldest of 4. I'm 26, and then my siblings are 24, and then 21 and 20. So one of the first major transitions that I went through in my life was when I was 9. So I had a father who was in and out of my life. He wasn't there all the time, and my grandma raised me, so when I was around 7, my mom got a house on the reservation, so we moved into the house with her and my dad. And at the time, I was young, I didn't really know much, but there would be times when I would take the phone and my mom would tell me to lock the room door with my siblings, and I had the police department number written. I memorized it at a young age, and our physical address, telling dispatch that my dad was drunk and coming home, and they needed to come down. So I witnessed domestic violence, emotional abuse, verbal abuse that my mom had to deal with. And my dad used alcohol as a way to deal with his problems, which was just a vicious cycle. And so one October day in 2002, my grandma took my sister and I to the state fair that weekend. And we spent the night at my aunt's house, and we were planning to stay at the state fair all the next day. And in the morning, we woke up to a phone call from my grandpa, and my dad found a rifle and he shot himself. And my grandpa found him. And so instead of going to the state fair, we spent our day at the Good Samaritan Hospital on the 11th floor in the ICU. My dad was flown out, and we were there. My family started coming, and I was really close with my grandpa, and we weren't allowed to see my dad. My grandma was in there, but it's not in our culture. You can't be around someone. Kids aren't supposed to be around someone who is passing, in the process of passing. So we stayed out of the room. My grandma kept us out until he had gone, and my grandpa showed up, and I held on to my grandpa. I didn't want to let him go, and my grandma told him in Apache that my dad didn't make it. So someone pulled me away, and they went into the room, and once everything was done, my grandma took us into the room for us to say our goodbye to my dad. And I had no idea the magnitude of that situation and how it was going to affect the rest of my life and how it is still affecting my life. So my dad's been gone since 2002. It was a very traumatic experience, and I had to transition into a world without my father. So going forward to 2011, I graduated as valedictorian from Alchese High School, and I also received the Gates Millennium Scholarship. So I am in my 8th year. I have 2 more years and I'm almost done. And another transition was going to the city and going to college. I thought I knew the city because we traveled often for school clothes or weekends. I did not know the city. I think of it as, if some of you might have seen Smoke Signals when those ladies asked Victor and Thomas, do you have your passport to leave the reservation? It was something similar. And I didn't understand what the term culture shock meant. So after a year into my undergrad, I took some American Indian Studies courses. That was my minor in my degree. And I met other Native students who were experiencing the same feelings that I was feeling. Everything was new. We all came from a rural, very small reservation to a big city. And so we were all learning together. And I became very independent. I had to learn the bus route. I had to learn time management skills. And let me tell you, I still don't have time management skills. And so while I was in college, I met my husband, and while I was finishing up college, I became a mother and I became a wife. And I was learning how to juggle school, work, mom life, and I'm still trying to juggle it all. And so Gabriel was born in 2014. He is our oldest son. And DJ was born in July 2016. And at the time, my husband was at the Correctional Officer Academy, and he missed our son's birth because he couldn't leave the academy. And so I transitioned into motherhood, and that was really beautiful and a new experience, but it was also difficult because I was in school full time, but I got through it with the help of my husband and my family that extended their help. Another transition we faced in 2017, I always believe there's a reason for everything. Everything falls into place at the time that it should. And our lease was coming to an end on our apartment in Mesa. We lived there for 5 years. We had trouble finding a bigger place, and I was out of school for about a year, and I couldn't find a job, and my husband was in a dangerous job that I didn't like. And I told him, I said, what if we moved back home? Like, we thought about it for a second, but my mom always told me, don't come back. There's nothing here for you. There's no jobs, there's no houses, there's nothing. And so when I left for college, that instilled in me that there was nothing here for me at home and that I had to make a life out in the city. But after I took American Indian Studies courses, I was surrounded by these Native students who were so passionate about helping their community, about making a change in their community and making a difference in the world. And I thought I could do that. I could be that person. And so I didn't listen to my mom. I brushed her off, and we signed a lease in Lakeside. We got approved. My husband's credentials transferred to Navajo County, and I got a job within 2 weeks, and I got hired at Hopkins, and that's probably one of the best places that I've ever worked. And so after American Indian Studies, it really opened my eyes to wanting to help my community and make a difference, because people were really passionate about what they were doing. And I work at Johns Hopkins, I really had no idea what I was getting into, but I am challenged every day in the best way possible, and I'm supported endlessly in my education, in my future. And transitions in our life are not ever really done or over, and we go through so many transitions that are small in nature, and they can define our lives sometimes. And statistics say that I should have not obtained a high school degree. Statistics say I shouldn't have finished college. I should have been a teenage mom or a single parent, or even I shouldn't have even obtained a master's degree. So the next transition that I will be part of is becoming a police wife, and I'm glad that my husband made it here tonight.